Valley in places like Butler and Warren County, now moving into Preble County, and where the heaviest of the rain has fallen and how much. So notice north of I-70, the greens and the yellows popping north of like Wapakoneta area. Some of these areas picked up over 3 inches of rain again over the last 2 days, but there's more rain coming in today, and throughout the rest of this week we have opportunities to pick up even more. So a couple systems with this. It's not just one in one sitting. We're talking an area of low pressure that's sitting down in southern Illinois that's going to rise up over the Great Lakes with a cold front that's coming through today and tomorrow. But another system coming through late week. And this is an area of low pressure that brings some concern to the Gulf coastline yet again. Right now, an area of low pressure with the center low of 35 miles per hour going to ride right up toward the Ohio Valley with a lot of uncertainty in the track of the system, which plays a role in how much rain we get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll keep you updated. Weather and traffic 70 and further south at the moment, pushing in Butler and Warren County, where we're seeing the lightning and hearing it if you're down in that direction. Nothing severe at the moment. That changes later this afternoon as we get a few breaks in the clouds. We'll heat up the atmosphere a little bit, make it a little more unstable. So we'll tap into some of the scattered stuff that's back into Illinois. That's round one. We have a couple rounds of rain this week, and not only this week, but according to the Climate Prediction Center, we're given above normal rain chances over the next 2 weeks' time. So the first system's coming in today and tomorrow. That's this area of low pressure in southern Illinois that's going to ride up into the Great Lakes. Attached to it is a cold front that's increasing again. Our rain chances already this morning state the obvious, right? But out ahead of that cold front, the air becomes a bit unstable. So it's more of an isolated threat, but the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma has us highlighted in green. That is a marginal risk, a level 1 of 5 for strong damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. Small hail, those are our two main threats. However, isolated tornadoes can never be ruled out, as you know. So pay attention, be weather aware. You have the WHIO weather app. If you don't download it, it's free. You get radar and Futurecast. Speaking of, here's Futurecast now. 6 o'clock this morning, again, dealing with rain off and on. It's a steady rain and everything's sub-severe, but after about noon today, we ramp up the atmosphere a bit and we bring in the chance for scattered, stronger thunderstorms that carry on till about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we'll clear things out and everything's gone by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. As for rainfall totals through Wednesday, 1 to 2 inches a possibility, but isolated higher amounts are also possible. And if the rain's coming down at such a heavy rate, it can't get absorbed fast enough, then isolated areas of flash flooding become a concern. Speaking of the dry ground, we're still under a drought. So will all of this rain get rid of the drought? The answer is no, but we'll see these colors die down a bit and we'll likely just deal with more of a moderate to severe drought here in the upcoming weeks as we continue with our rain chances. Here's your next 7 days. Again, showing that second system moving in Friday and Saturday. That's an area of low pressure that's south of Cuba at the moment. Now forecast to become a Category 3 hurricane, which is major, just before landfall. Still holding that opportunity this afternoon, widening things out, showing you that there's scattered rain back into Illinois. We have rain not just through this afternoon, but not just through the whole week, but into the next 2 weeks. I know, shocker, right? We're highlighting in this darker green color, the Climate Prediction Center finally giving us a good above normal chance for rain within the next 2 weeks. Now let's focus in on this first system. We've got this area of low pressure in southern Illinois. It's going to ride up into the Great Lakes. Attached to it, a cold front. Out ahead of that cold front, we have a southwest wind. So we're bringing in warm, moist air plus the lift of the boundary. All the right ingredients for a few stronger storms. So we're highlighting green, all of us. That is a level 1 of 5, a marginal risk, which means we have an isolated chance of a storm to pop severe, capable of producing some damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. That's our biggest threat. Small hail, 1 inch in diameter. And then isolated tornadoes can never be ruled out, but that threat is extremely low. Plus flash flooding because our grounds are so dry and we get heavy rain in a short amount of time, that water gets backed up. So let's look at it. 6 o'clock this morning, again, dealing with rain. We bring in a better chance for scattered thunderstorms afternoon to about, let's say, 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when we're dealing with some of these stronger storms. Once we move into the overnight hours, things settle down. As for rainfall totals, 1 to 2 inches widespread, but isolated higher amounts are a possibility. And while it will help the drought, it's not going to do rid of it with just this one rain. It's going to take time And that's why we're saying that within the next 2 weeks, the Climate Prediction Center giving us above normal chances will help. And we'll see these colors die back a bit, likely just dealing with abnormally dry conditions and a moderate drought. Here's your next 7 days. Next chance for rain this weekend. That comes with an area of low pressure that's settling south currently of Cuba. We have weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Jake, I saw some flashing lights out there in Miami Township. What's going on?
Yeah, and right actually in Miami Township, Britley, getting our first crash the morning reported right around the Austin Landing area. This is northbound 75. It was somewhere between 675 and Austin Boulevard. Still having a hard time seeing this crash from our cameras in the area since there's just so much rain falling in the area. But I heard on the scanners that
you're seeing the greens and the yellows indicate some of the heaviest of the rain. And we actually have more rain this morning, as you've already probably heard, with the lightning and the thunder, and then, of course, just the occasional downpours. But there's not just rain today. There's rain expected throughout the entire week and into the upcoming weekend. A couple systems here to talk about. One is the area of low pressure in southern Illinois today, moving up into the Great Lakes with the cold front. That, unfortunately, gives us the threat for a few stronger storms, but at least it's raining. We have another chance for rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with an area of low pressure that's currently south of Cuba, kind of getting its act together, expected to become a major hurricane before making landfall somewhere around Florida's Big Bend and then right up into the Ohio Valley. Still a lot of uncertainty with the track of this storm, which plays a role in how much rain we get, but the opportunity is there. We have weather and track Clark County into Greene County now, where you're seeing the reds popping, even a few strikes of lightning left over, and all the way up into Bell Fountain in Logan County there. A few lightning strikes too. Nothing severe. It's just steady rain, and it is causing a few problems out on the roadways. So please slow down. Give yourself some extra time if you plan on heading out and about within the next 10 to 15 minutes time. All of us across the valley really tapping into that rain, of course heavier in some areas than others, but regardless, it's raining and there's more rain on the way. Back into Illinois, scattered showers and thunderstorms that have the potential to become strong to severe later on this afternoon. And it's not just today that we're watching, it's the next week's time, the next 2 weeks' time. We're highlighted in a darker green now all across the valley, where the Climate Prediction Center says we have above normal chances for rain within the next 14 days. So round one coming in with this area of low pressure that's set up in southern Illinois, going to ride up into the Great Lakes. Attached to it a cold front, and out ahead of it, we have warm, moist air. And we also have the lift of the boundary. So it brings us the potential of stronger storms that are capable of becoming severe. It's more of an isolated window where we are highlighted in green. That is a marginal risk, a level 1 of 5. So the Storm Prediction Center gives us that opportunity of damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, some small hail. Those are our biggest threats, but isolated tornadoes can never be ruled out. Pay attention to radar today. Make sure you download the WHIO weather app. It is free and it comes with radar and futurecast. And speaking of, here it is, noon today. Scattered thunderstorms lingering till about 3, 4 o'clock into the afternoon. We wind down. The severe weather threat's gone after dark. And we're winding up with 1 to 2 inches of rain forecast, but isolated higher amounts are definitely a possibility under some of these heavier storms. Is it enough to get rid of the drought? No, but it will help over the next few weeks' time. So here's what's going on over the next 7 days. Round one with the rain coming in today and tomorrow. We're back a little bit. We had a lot of heavy rain early this morning. Now it's becoming more scattered, and we still have more rain on the way. Look back into Illinois. So another line trying to redevelop, and we have the potential, unfortunately, for not just the threat of heavy rain, but all hazards in play. And that's round one. But we have a couple rounds of rain this week. And not only this week, but going into next week, too. The Climate Prediction Center has us highlighted in green for the next 14 days. Yes. So here's the first system. An area of low pressure setting up in southern Illinois, going to ride up into the Great Lakes. Attached to it, a cold front. And that's what's bringing us our rain today. And out ahead of that cold front, again, unfortunately, we have warm, moist air and the lift of that boundary. Those combinations bring us the potential for some stronger storms. This is a level 1 of 5, a marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center, saying we have an isolated threat of strong winds over 60 miles per hour and some small hail. Those are our two biggest concerns, but as you know, living in the Miami Valley, isolated tornadoes can never be ruled out. The threat's low, but just pay attention. The WHIO weather app is free. It keeps you alerted. It also has radar and futurecast. Speaking of futurecast, here it is. Noon today, scattered thunderstorms developing. That continues on till about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we quiet down through the evening, and we're left with partly cloudy skies. The severe weather threat will be done at that point. As for rainfall totals, 1 to 2 inches. Widespread, isolated higher amounts are possible, and will that do rid of the drought? The answer is no, but it helps. Good soaking rains over a long period of time are a great thing. So it's going to take a few weeks to play the catch-up game, but we'll start to see these colors fade back a bit, likely to just abnormally dry to more of a moderate drought. But we have another attempt for rain moving into the latter part of the week, and Storm Center 7-day forecast showing you that Friday and Saturday. Right now, we're a little too far out to tell you full details, rather. We've got an area of low pressure south of Cuba at the moment that's forecast to become a major hurricane before landfall along Florida's Big Bend near the Panhandle.